Coming up on City Corner, we've got one of the best home stylists in the St. Louis region who's going to talk to you about how to get your home ready for the real estate market. Coming up next. Welcome to City Corner. I'm Sarah Bernard, and we have a fantastic guest for you today. Her name is Andrea Lenzen. She is the owner of Design to Sell, which is a leading home staging and styling company here in St. Louis. We're going to get into all the details, Andrea. And I am so excited about this because you've got something to share with literally everyone in this community.
Absolutely.
And not even if you're planning to sell your house or not, just the way we live in our houses, we can learn a lot from you. So Andrea Lenzen has been a real estate agent and broker in our community for how many decades, Andrea?
1979, I got my real estate license.
Okay, so that is a lot of years. You're probably one of the longest run, actually licensed realtors in St. Louis. So you have seen a lot of trends. And go back to the early 80s, I guess, and what you're doing now. So you've been working as a real estate agent, but now just working with real estate agents and with their clients to get homes ready to sell. But what kinds of trends have you seen in the way homes are marketed now versus back then? It's different because now we're doing a lot of online stuff.
It was different back then because you could have the avocado green and the harvest gold, carpeting and appliances, and people bought that as is. They didn't care, so nobody really fixed up their house or updated it back then.
But was that updated for that time period?
For that time, but they still really didn't do the decluttering and the things that you need to do because people would just buy it.
Okay.
And you didn't have the internet, so you were going to see the houses and you didn't know what it was going to look like until you went inside.
So home buyers have become much more discriminatory or discriminant, or what is the word I'm looking for?
Sophisticated.
Yeah, sophisticated. And I think it's from HGTV and also from just the sophistication of photography and video and all of that and how people are shopping, home shopping. So, and also display homes. So a lot of trends come from what we see new builders doing.
Absolutely.
And going out and looking at display homes, you see these great, most beautiful homes, but then the average home seller who's been in their home for, what would you say, 10, 15 years?
Some a lot longer.
Some longer.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
They're living in their home and now it's time to sell. And they've got some work to do.
They have a lot of work to do.
So you're hired by home sellers or by, I guess, real estate agents to go in and work with these folks in our community in St. Louis to get their homes ready to sell.
So why we're a little bit different is that we just work with people who will be living in their homes while it's on the market.
Yeah, so you're not a home stager in the sense of homes that are staged that are empty and these companies bring in a whole house full of furniture. You don't do that.
Absolutely correct.
So you work with homeowners who are in their homes and you're working with their existing furniture.
Which is more challenging.
Yeah.
It's more challenging and it's very sensitive and you have to just go in there and be very discreet about how you present it to the sellers because some of them are very attached to their things and everybody tells them, oh, your house is beautiful, you don't really need to do anything. But they really do because they need to depersonalize it because we want to appeal to the largest group of buyers out there. So we have to make it as neutral as possible.
So how often are people or consumers, homeowners calling you directly to say, I need to sell my house, I need your help? Does that happen very often or is it more often the real estate agent?
I would say 90% it's the real estate agent.
Okay, so you're a homeowner and your real estate agent is going to send you over to meet with them. They're probably already a little bit on the defensive because you're coming in and telling them their house doesn't look good enough for the market.
Well, I think our secret, I'm going to tell our secret. When we sit down and we talk to them, I always ask them if I may have their permission to be completely honest with them. And the way they react is going to tell me a lot about it. Because if they kind of like sit back, I know I'm going to have to go really slow. Some just say, oh, please, we just want to sell. Just tell us whatever we need to know.
Yeah. So
and I'm finding most sellers are really open to doing that. Now, don't expect HGTV because that's not going to happen. But, they really understand what needs to be done.
Well, if the home is already that style, HGTV style, you're probably not needed. So,
well,
right.
I've gone into homes and I've walked in and I say, why am I here? But the agent really wants me to do a fine tuning. And there are other things that you can find, like personal photos are up there. Maybe they have too many things out there. It's distracting.
So you walk into someone's home and you're going to meet with them to discuss getting their house ready. What are the things that you see over and over and over? And I don't want to call them mistakes because people, they're not. It's the way people live in. It's the way we all live in our homes, right? So what are the things that you're gonna attack right away?
Way too much furniture, way too many accessories. Just way too much stuff. The closets are just full. That's the way you live in your home and the way you list it are two different things. And once they understand that, they're good. And especially if they've been in their home a long, long time, then they have really accumulated a lot from their kids, their grandkids, or whatever. They're holding everything for the family.
Yeah, I just know from personal experience, the best way to declutter is to move. Because if you move every few years, you're not going to accumulate as much stuff.
Well, some people have a hard time getting rid of it, and they'll box everything and they'll put it in storage and then take it to their new house.
Oh yeah, the storage industry is not right. That's not helping our clutter problem in this country.
Exactly.
So people have too much stuff. Their furniture's too big. What else are you seeing?
Really, several different colors and paint colors in different rooms because they're doing it, like the kids might like a certain color or they want a different color in their kitchen or living room. We really can't have that, especially when we get ready to sell, because buyers are looking for a neutral palette because they're spending money to get their house ready to put on the market. They don't want to be spending money to buy their new house. So I think that's the big mistakes, but they're living in their house, so it's okay. But when you get ready to sell, now you're going to have to take down the drapes and you're going to have to paint it a neutral color throughout.
So if you like wild colors, kind of consider how long you're going to be in the house. Because you may have to change it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about pets? Because over 50% of homes have pets in them.
That's a big question because always when I go in there and I see there's either dogs or cats or whatever, and I say, what are the plans? And with a dog, it's pretty easy because they can take them out of the house. But I said, I don't want any dog beds, dog bowls to be in the photos, nothing laying around. Cats is a little more challenging because they'll say, the cat won't come out. Well, the cats
So you're talking about what to do with the pets when you are showing your home.
Yes.
Okay.
When it's on the market. And a lot of times I'll have to say, could you put your cat at a relative's or something like that? Because sometimes the litter boxes aren't as well maintained as some have been.
So it's better than what you
no pets in the house.
No pets, no evidence of pets, no pet smells, that kind of thing.
Even birds. Yes.
Even birds.
And birds and rattlesnakes. No, snakes, and we've had everything. Any animals we prefer not to have in the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if someone is getting ready if they're thinking about the spring market, they want to put their house on the market, what are some things they can be doing now without inviting you over?
Well, I think they could start working on their closets.
Oh, okay.
Because normally they have way too much stuff, and they know they do. So it's a good time to work on the closets because we like to see the closets reduced at least 50%. So that way the prospective buyer can see all the storage space. If the stuff is crammed in there, they're going to think there's not enough storage. So that's a major thing they can start working on now. They can start calling their kids and say, come and pick up your stuff. We've been holding on to you forever. It's time for it to go. That's one thing they can do now. They can look into if they need to paint, maybe paint now and enjoy that. Or if you have to update a room of some sort, do that now so you can enjoy it while you update it, while you live in the house. Makes such a big difference.
So how many homes a year do you style?
Oh boy, it'll be probably around 350 to 400 a year.
Wow.
It keeps us pretty busy.
Yeah, and you've got a team of other stylists that will go.
Absolutely.
You couldn't do it all yourself.
No,
It's a lot.
They're the best. Yeah, they're the best. So.
And I think buyers, people who are looking to buy a home, can see the difference in a home that is prepared.
Well,
and home sellers will get more money.
And millennials will not even go into a home unless it's been either staged, if it's vacant, or
and they can see that
they
from
can
the
see it online. And that's another thing. I always tell the sellers, if you're looking online now to purchase something yourself, which house appeals to you? And it's the one that's been staged or styled.
Yeah.
Because you can visualize yourself living in there. and there's no clutter. It's clean. It looks really good.
So that's actually a really good idea. So people that are thinking about selling their home, go visit some of these display homes or homes on the market that have been styled and get an idea for how people want to see a home displayed.
Our goal is to make their home look like a display model, even though they're living in it. We have the ability to bring in accessories. So they might have outdated artwork or floral arrangements or things like that. So we have the ability to bring that in to kind of update the home and give it that fresh, new look that it really needs.
So, okay, I'm going to challenge you a little bit. Have you ever walked into a home and said, there's literally nothing I can do to improve it because it's so bad?
Oh, well, that has happened. My suggestion at that point is any way you can possibly move out completely.
And with all your stuff.
With all your stuff. It needs to be empty, painted, new flooring, and then have it staged by a stager that handles vacant staging.
And then you bring in a stager who brings in the furniture.
Correct.
So if it's something that you think even just working with their stuff isn't going to help.
That's happened before because I just want to be honest with them as much as possible because, I mean, they always say you can't put lipstick on a pig, type of thing. But, I mean, there's some things that are just, it's really hard to overcome.
Yeah.
And if they have the ability to move out, then we will always suggest that.
Okay, move out. All right,
Okay.
well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to look at some before and after pictures and give people a really good idea of the kind of work that can be done, and some of this they can do on their own. So stay tuned. We'll be back for more of Andrea Lenzen coming right up.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I tell my son, I love you every single day.
I love you.
Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
He's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Did you know that you can watch STL TV on your smart TV? That's right. With the new STL TV Now app, you can watch STL TV at home without a cable subscription. And that includes our live broadcast channel as well as video on demand content. We have apps for Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. You probably have at least one of those at home, right? But this one is a Fire TV. Now listen, it is really easy to get started. Just find the App Store on your TV, then search for STL TV Now. Select it and click to install. And in just a few seconds, you are enjoying STL TV's great programming such as CityCorner, Inside Sports, City Government, and public interest coverage. Or, my personal favorite, In the Kitchen.
Welcome back to City Corner. I'm Sarah Bernard, and I'm here with Andrea Lenzen, who is a home stylist in the St. Louis region, and she has been styling, she's saying, over 300 homes a year to get them ready for the real estate market. And boy, the stories you could tell, I'm sure. We're gonna look at actually some photos in just a moment of some actual homes in St. Louis. You will not know whose homes these are, but where you can show what the work that you have done. So some before and after photos. So let's jump into that right now, and you all can bring up the photos and we can start looking, and you can tell us a little bit about what you saw when you observed and what you did to make positive changes.
So this was a cute little house, but they had already a formal dining room and a kitchen that had an island, and they were using this as like an additional eating area. But with the fireplace, that would have looked so cute if we had furniture in there and kind of made that more into like a hearth room. So we had them remove all of that furniture, and we brought in some furniture, which we have the ability to bring in small pieces. And what a transformation that was.
So this is that same room.
Same room, different angle.
From a different angle. And now instead of it serving as a dining space, and you said they already had a separate dining space, it is now transformed into a living room. So from a potential buyer's perspective, this room looks a lot bigger.
Yes, it was right off the pool area, so this was like a nice hearth room. It really was more inviting. And it was a better use of the space.
And the homeowner in that case was open to
He was wide open to the suggestions.
Yes. Whole new room of furniture.
He was totally fine. He wanted to sell.
Okay, let's look at what's next.
Okay.
We've got another,
Okay, so this was one where they just had a lot of stuff. The furniture really wasn't arranged properly. That's another big mistake a lot of sellers make. So we just kind of had them declutter. We brought in some accessories and we rearranged the furniture. And voila.
This is the same room.
The same room.
So in some of the same furniture?
Yeah, it's the same furniture.
The furniture in the before photo looked large and maybe
because there was too many pieces in there.
Yeah, too much furniture. So did you move some of it out?
Yeah, so we had them move some of it out. It was kind of like a sectional. We had them break that up. And then we used part of it as a couch and then part as a chair. And then brought in an area rug, moved a coffee table there. And
I think furniture these days is just large.
So big.
Especially when you buy sofas or sectionals, like you said, it's just sometimes too big for the space and people can't see that. So that's...
And it really made that room look too small. This way it really opened it up.
Yeah.
And showed the space that the room did provide.
Was amazing transformation. Yes. All right, let's see what we've got next here. This is fun.
Okay, this is a great example of paint color. It's like the Tuscany style, which is really out now, but look at all the artwork on the walls. So you can't really even see the house because you're seeing the Tuscany color and you're seeing all the accessories on it. It really pulls the house in.
And these are obviously really tall ceilings, so they just took their artwork all the way up.
All the way up, which is really a big mistake. So look, once we had them remove all of it and paint the house, look what a transformation this became.
Oh my gosh.
It's not even like the same. Look,
it doesn't even look like the same
You can
house.
see the beautiful arch in the home.
So the biggest change here is we're seeing that sort of mustard yellow color. Now the wall has been changed to more of a white or cream, and it's just gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It just really opens it up.
So you went into that first home and said you need to remove all that artwork that's going up to the ceiling. But they loved it. It was obviously their style.
It was that style in that time.
And you have to paint. And I bet these homeowners, did they walk in and say, I don't want to sell my house now because I love it?
That's happened to me one time. That did happen to me one time.
Yeah.
But normally they have a reason they're moving. But yeah, a lot of people do fall in love with their houses again.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, well, and then you'll go back and when they're in their new house and help them, right?
They've had so many times to say, oh, we love what you did in our current home. Can you help us in our new home? Go, absolutely. We can help you place the furniture or bring in some new accessories for you. We do that all the time.
Yeah, because you've got the eye. Are there more photos? I think some more
we got some more.
Let's see what's next.
So this was a cute little house in Kirkwood. And I mean, a lot of agents would have said, okay, this is fine, but removing the dog. But, we thought, no, this really needs a little bit more zazz. I think we need to change the furniture around. I think we need to add some artwork.
This is the opposite because this house doesn't have a lot of clutter.
No, it doesn't.
It's like there's not a lot there.
Right. So we just wanted to give it that wow factor. So we rearranged the furniture and we added some artwork, and it really turned out cute.
Oh, wow.
What a difference.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's beautiful. So you kept the rug.
Kept the rug,
okay.
Kept the chairs, but relocated the chairs, and just brought a few accessories in for the coffee table, brought a couple toss pillows in, some artwork.
So let's talk about rugs for a minute.
Okay.
So how do you feel? A lot of people have area rugs, and now there's a trend towards wood floors or vinyl plank, and they're covered with rugs usually. So what do you...
I'm totally fine with that. I mean, if you're putting them under a coffee table or you're putting it under a dining room table, that's fine. Do not ever put a rug on a rug. A lot of people put area rugs on top of a rug to give it a pop of color. It really just pulls it in and makes it look smaller.
So don't do that, but a rug on a wood floor, you'd be
totally
okay
fine.
with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another tip too, when a photographer comes in, all these little toss rugs, pick those up because it chops up the room.
So big rugs are fine, big area rugs, but it's the little
if you have a little one in your kitchen rug, especially in the bathrooms. We don't want anything touching the floor in the bathroom. So definitely pull the rugs, toilet plungers, toilet brushes, all that. We don't want anything on the floor.
Okay. All right. Good tips. All
Good
right.
tips.
All right. So that we've seen some amazing. All right, here we go.
This is another beautiful.
And this house, I mean, this looks like a high-end home.
It's a very high-end home.
And it looks beautiful and stately.
It is beautiful.
So you walk
and
into
stately,
this and.
But it's got a lot going on in here. And could somebody visualize themselves living here, because they would have to like that style. They'd have to like those heavy drapes. They'd have to like all the ornaments on the fireplace. But I wanted to simplify it so any particular buyer could walk in and say, oh, I could live there. Plus, they had a beautiful, beautiful area in the back with a fountain, and the drapes took away from it. Now, look at that now.
Wow.
You could really see those windows, which are stunning. And this way, it's neutral, and a person could visualize themselves living in the house.
And it's just a lot brighter.
Oh,
you see the backyard. Those drapes obviously were expensive, those valances.
Very expensive.
And by removing those, it does make a big change. So we wonder, like, why does everybody cover up their windows up?
Because that's the way it used to be a long time ago. And I know she was very resistant on taking those down. And then finally, after it wasn't really working for her, she took them down, and it really made a difference then. We got a contract. But a long time ago, drapes were really in, and they were very expensive. But they're not now. People want bright, open. They don't even want those valances up. They don't want anything.
Yeah.
Maybe some blinds.
They really do chop up the windows.
They pull the whole house down.
Yeah.
They really do. It really makes a difference.
I don't know if we have more photos.
I think we do. We have
more
a few
photos.
More.
Let's bring it up. Here we go. And this is I like this because it has wallpaper, because wallpaper is coming back. So we need to talk about that. So tell us about this.
So wallpaper can come back if you're living in your home, fine. But when you're getting ready to sell it, no. So this particular one, she loved her style, loved her decor. And she really fought about taking it down because she really liked the French Provincial. But after it had been sitting on the market for a while, she finally said, Uncle, and painted, and we were able to bring in some accessories and really turn it around, and it's sold.
And this is the
after.
Wow.
Because it appeals more now to a majority of buyers, where the other one, it was just a small market that was possibly interested in that.
Yeah.
So our job is to make sure that it appeals to the widest range of buyers.
Yeah, that's a huge difference.
Huge difference.
Completely changes the look and feel of that house.
Right. And I think we've got another one too. Oh, this one's great.
So this is your picture that you took.
Picture I took, so it's not the greatest quality.
But you walked into this.
I walked into this. There was a bird in there, and you could see the cage. It just, we had to remove everything out of that room, completely declutter it, relocate the bird, and have it completely painted. And what a difference it made after that was all done.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. So you can't even imagine.
I didn't even know that was a bedroom.
It was hard to tell because there was so much in there. I mean, the bed is still in the same location. But you can't present a home like that with so much stuff in there and the paint colors. It's just not going to appeal to a buyer.
So this is really, really interesting to see. I mean, this is what you do every single day.
Every day.
So you go in, see that room,
yep.
And you're nice about it, I'm sure, and,
yes.
and then you transform the space, and it really helps. I'm sure it helps every seller to get more money for that house, and when people can see it in a more neutral environment.
I think the best money they can put into their home is painting. You get 100% of your money back from that. It really is. It's just not a waste of money. You know, and then we have to evaluate the price point of the home. Should I redo my kitchen? But there's other tips you can do. Maybe you just paint the kitchen cabinets or put some different hardware on it, you know, to really bring it more up to date. Or just changing light fixtures can make a big difference too. So you don't have to spend a fortune, but you do have to it's an investment to protect your equity.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if people can start thinking about this sooner, not a month before they want to sell their home, because some of the stuff is positive that they might want to enjoy and live
That's what I'm saying.
too.
If they do it now, if they're putting their home on the market in the spring, do it now and enjoy it, you know, while you're living in your home.
So we just have a couple minutes left, Andrea. So if you could give, so we talked about some tips for people cleaning out their closets, and what about front porch or kitchen or bath, things that they can do that you would recommend that people do when they are getting ready to sell their home?
I think the front porch is the biggest attribute they can have as far as getting their house ready for the market. Think about it, you'd never go through your front door. They always go through their garage. So we start with the outside of the house and we stand there from the curb and say.
So you're saying the homeowner doesn't go through the front door, but as someone coming to look at their home, that's where
everybody always needs a new doormat. It's a given. You know, and bring in, you know, power washing, definitely, painting the windows, maybe changing the coach lights, bring it up to date.
Painting the windows or cleaning the windows?
Cleaning the windows.
Cleaning the windows,
yeah.
Okay.
And maybe updating the coach lights, things like that. Bringing some landscaping.
Yeah.
That's the first impression. If that looks good, then they know the rest of the home is going to look good.
Okay.
If it's kind of, you know, the bushes are outgrown and they're not even.
Yeah.
Pull dead flowers, dead bushes. Really, the landscaping is critical.
Okay, so clean up the front area. What about if your kitchen? What are some basic things that people can do when they put their house on the market?
If you have decorative items above the kitchen cabinets, please take them down.
So up on top,
yeah,
like baskets and that kind of thing.
Yeah, remove all of that.
Okay.
And declutter as much as you possibly can, and work on your pantry.
Yeah.
Try to declutter your pantry also.
Okay. Okay, and then what about coffee pots and that kind of thing? Okay.
Coffee pots are fine. We always create like a little cute coffee bar, and you know, then we like to have maybe a little cookbook on a stand. But we try to showcase as much of the counter space as we possibly can.
Okay, open counters.
Open counters.
Good tips today,
Yeah.
Andrea. Thank you so much for joining us here in City Corner. It's so nice to know you're a part of our St. Louis community, helping hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homeowners over all the many years that you've been doing this. So you are a treasure to our community. Thank you so much for being here today, and thank you, our community, for joining us today on City Corner. Keep it here, keep coming back. We've always got wonderful guests for you. We've got Andrea's contact information for you as well, so feel free to reach out to her, check out her website. You can see more of these photos, and you can follow her on Facebook and Instagram, designtosell.com. All right, very good. Well, thanks for joining us today. Andrea, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.